Hey guys, Icy Cat here. Today I'm doing something a little different. We've got a ton of new Rainbow Six stuff coming out this week, but while we've got a break before the next batch of info comes out, I want to talk to you about this new game, Eagle Flight. And I've got free copies of the game to give out. Stick around to find out how. So I'm really excited to share this one with you. This is Eagle Flight, one of the first forays into virtual reality by Ubisoft. They're also going to be coming out with a couple of other titles, including the highly anticipated Star Trek one later on this year, but I'm very excited to share this one with you. I got a chance to play it at E3 while the game was still in development and was able to give the team some feedback on what I thought about it, and I had a really great time doing so. So the premise of the game is this: it's kind of almost post-apocalyptic. It's set an unspecified amount of time after humans have disappeared off the face of the earth. We're not given a reason why, what happened to them, nothing like that. All we know is that Paris is overgrown. Nature has taken back over. Trees are growing in the middle of the streets along with weeds and grass. The animals have escaped from the zoo and they've reclaimed the city, so there's wolves and zebras and giraffes all over the place. And in the skies, hunting you or you're hunting them are vultures and crows and hawks. And you can get involved in some really great aerial dogfighting as you dodge and weave in between the buildings or out into the trees and things like that. There's all kinds of objectives in the game. Dogfighting is one of them. You have some other things that involve like precision flying or a speed flying, but you can also go in the subterranean sections. There's some objectives that take place in like subway tunnels or in the catacombs underneath the Paris streets, and these are tight chambers and long hallways with debris that's fallen and, you know, rock slides or different holes in walls and things like that, and you're flying through these things, and you're pushed to do so at like faster and faster speeds. All the objectives are sort of tied to a time rating, so you'll get stars based on your speed. You get 3 stars coming through with the fastest speed possible, all the way down to 1 star being kind of like the minimum time required to get through a level. And you're always pushing yourself to go faster and achieve those higher stars, because those stars will then allow you to unlock other features in the game. There's different levels you can only get into once you've gotten a certain amount of stars behind you accumulated. There's many other mission types that are involved as well, and they all kind of center around this concept of surviving in this environment as an eagle. So you're establishing your nest, you're expanding your territory, you're scouting territory, you're fending off attackers for dominance of a region before expanding into the next one. You're gaining feathers to increase your nest. You're hunting food supplies, so you're gathering fish or rabbits or things like that to kind of, you know, come back and have food at your nest or to feed your family, whatever it might be. The movement is super intuitive. You just move by looking around with your headset. So if you look to the left or right, you fly to the left or right. And if you want to make tight banking turns, you'll just tilt your head on a 45-degree angle to either direction. As you progress deeper into the game, you'll unlock other abilities that will allow you to attack other hostile creatures or to defend yourself from those hostile creatures, and you'll learn more about those abilities as you progress through the game. So you do use a controller in combination with the VR headset, and that's true whether you're playing this on PC or on the PlayStation. Now, one thing that people might think by watching this is that this game would make them very dizzy or sick, and just by watching this, they're like, I can't imagine how this would be in virtual reality. I'd probably throw up. And trust me, if there was a game that was going to do this, you would think by watching this footage that this might be the one. But they use a lot of really well-researched techniques to keep the player grounded and so that that doesn't happen. One of those is to give your character a fixed point of reference at all times. So one way they do that is that your character actually has a virtual beak. This hangs like right where your nose would be, and it gives you a fixed point of reference. You'll also see at the top of the screen there's kind of like this black area, which is sort of like where the feathers are if they come down over the eyes a little bit, and this gives you a top and bottom reference on your screen, so as you're moving around you have a fixed point. Another thing they do is as you get very close to an object, as you're streaking by it at high speed on the left or the right, you know, if you're a little too close to that object, it'll kind of like fade in a little bit on that side, and that'll help kind of keep that streaking movement out of the corner of your eye reduced so you're not getting dizzy from that. There's also really strong positional audio cues, so you can tell when you're slowing down or speeding up and the wind is rushing past you, so you're keeping your awareness as to what your point of reference is in relation to all of the objects around you in your environment. The lighting effects in this game are absolutely gorgeous, but the texturing is somewhat on the simple side, using strong, bold colors that are easily distinguishable. Having a simpler color palette to digest and tricks your brain into thinking it's not as untethered as it might otherwise seem to be. Now, there's no guarantee that somebody wouldn't be motion sick at all playing a virtual reality game. There's just some people that when they play VR, they're going to experience that. That said, this game uses a lot of well-established, researched tricks that show that these things increase stability when playing VR games. Now, I did talk a little bit about the game's multiplayer component when I first started. Unfortunately, I don't have any of that footage to share with you. The reason is I just got my PS4 Pro, so I haven't even signed up for a PS Plus account yet, so I'm not online. I can't play multiplayer yet, but I did play it when I was at E3, and it's a lot of fun. So you have two teams. There's a red team and a blue team, and you're fighting over a food resource, and this kind of plays out like Capture the Flag, except instead of a flag, it's a rabbit carcass. So you're going to bring that rabbit carcass back to your nest, and these teams will go back and forth competing over this. So as you take one out, they might drop that, and then the other team will pick it up and go back, and there can be this very much back and forth kind of tug and war that occurs as a result of that. The first team that scores a set amount of points will win overall, and it's just a lot of fun. You can get into some tight situations where you're going down narrow streets and you have somebody on your 6 and you're trying to figure out how to duck and weave and kind of get out from that. You know, you're hoping maybe your wingman is able to kind of come in behind and flank that target as you're being chased, or maybe you're chasing down a target and you're coming up over the top of a roof and then diving down into the tree canopy to try to follow somebody else and kind of, you know, take the objective away from them. Playing against real people in that is a lot of fun. And speaking of fun, this game can be fun for everybody, regardless of your skill level. If you want, you can keep the game very simple. There is a relaxing, just free roam mode where all you do is fly around the city with nothing to do other than just fly around and take it in. There's no objectives to worry about, no hostile creatures to worry about. You're just flying around and enjoying yourself. I mean, this is a mode that you can put your mother or your grandmother into that has never played a video game before, and they can still kind of get a chance to experience it. Everybody can kind of get the concept of you look and that's where you go. I mean, they don't have to worry about the controller really at all. And if you're somebody that enjoys having these objectives to go after, the story mode offers so much for you in that way. It starts out easy and it ramps up to very, very difficult challenges later in the game, as well as optional expert missions and things like that. And there's a big push there to kind of, you know, find all the things to collect or get all the stars or get the fastest times on the leaderboards or things like that. So if you're into challenges and trials, there's a lot there too. This is also a fantastic game as a parent because I don't have to worry about my kids playing this and thinking that there's going to be something that there's going to be a problem for them to see. There's no grotesque violence, there's no swearing, there's nothing in here that would be mature content at all. And yet, in spite of that, as an adult, it still manages to be a fun, engaging game for me too. And I really want to give a chance for all of you to give it a try too. So I've got some codes for free copies of the game to give out. I've got some for Oculus Rift and some for the PlayStation VR. I don't have any for the HTC Vive yet, as Eagle Flight is still unreleased on that platform at this time. It will be out in a few weeks. If you want to win one of those copies, here's all you have to do. Leave me a comment down below and let me know the platform that you want your code for. Let me know if it's the Oculus Rift or the PSVR. If you want an additional chance to win, then head on over to ICCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. Again, let me know which platform you want it on, Oculus Rift or PSVR. And that's all you have to do. I'll choose random winners until all the supplies for the free codes are given away. Now, no worries, we will be getting back to the Rainbow Six stuff. Tomorrow, the patch notes are coming out for Season 4, and I'll be giving all of that information to you guys then. Then Season 4 officially kicks off on Thursday, and we'll be playing with the new map and operators. I'll be giving you the updated information on what all of those break down to. So we've got a lot to look forward to for Rainbow Six later in the week. Now, if you want to make sure that you stay up to date on all that information, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thanks for watching.